Crusader Forum on the campus of Archbishop Riordan High School. It is varsity basketball non-league action here on the Riordan Broadcast Network tonight. We've got a big-time non-league matchup as our Crusaders are playing host to Weston Ranch of Stockton. And if you're unfamiliar with Weston Ranch, all they did last year was go 31-2. They are playing a very tough schedule this year. They are 0-2, but that's by and large because they've played really good competition so far, and that continues tonight with this matchup against the 4-0 Crusaders coming off of the tournament championship of their own tournament, the 61st Annual Crusader Classic, that they won here on Saturday night, defeating San Ramon Valley. And as I bring in Cameron Bevan Abel, I'm Bob Green, and Cam, this evening for this ball game, kind of an odd circumstance. You've got a random non-league game on a Tuesday in December. Generally, those aren't big games, but this one certainly is.
Oh yeah, some non-league games can turn into very competitive and very great games, even though this is a matchup you won't see Riordan playing against Western Ranch a lot. Western Ranch, like Bob Green said, they started 0-2, but the Crusaders are 4-0. They just won the Crusader Classic, so they've gotten a good start to the season so far.
No doubt it's going to be a big game. Western Ranch brings back a lot of players from their team a year ago that made it all the way to the NorCal Open Division playoffs and lost to De La Salle 48-42. The Crusaders, of course, you know about them. They've got the Division I guards coming back this year as seniors, Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark. Both of them were named all-tournament in the Crusader Classic, but they also have some real size this year, including their sophomore transfer center, Moore Seck, who was also named to the all-tournament team in the Crusader Classic from this past weekend. So the Crusaders and the Cougars of Western Ranch. In a little bit, we will have the announcement of the starting lineups and the tip-off here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. All right, so we are ready to go. Weston Ranch in the road dark uniforms. They send out 3 guards, Titus Haley, Mason Coylton, and Gavin Wilburn. Couple of forward. Jelani Clark, Bryce Monroe, and Lee Hubbard are part of the 3-guard lineup. And we've seen different guys in this kind of power forward spot in the starting lineup. Tonight, it's Dominic Wilson. We've seen Robert Vaihola there. We've seen Rini. We've seen Chan Mayot. Tonight, it's Tom Wilson, and tonight, Western Ranch controls to start the evening. 2 really good teams who have aspirations to play in the NorCal Open playoffs on a Tuesday night here at the Forum, and we start the night with a block shot inside and then a foul. Coylton whistled for the foul. He's one of 6 returning players from last year's Western Ranch squad that went 31-2. Here's Moreau coming off of that 31-point performance against San Ramon Valley on Saturday night in the championship game of the Crusader Classic. Clark, top of the key 3, it's no good. And the rebound cleared by Western Ranch. Goes Wilburn. He's a really talented player, and he shows it there. And his great length and athleticism will get him 2 foul shots. Wilburn is listed at 6'3" tall. But his really long arms right there impacted that play. I think a real key to this game tonight will be how the Crusaders guard him. And right there, they didn't do a particularly good job, and he got a full head of steam and got to the rim. One thing that is worth bringing up about this game is it's an awful long ways from Stockton to here on a Tuesday night. It definitely impacted the JV Cougars in Riordan's 56-41 win earlier tonight. Here's Lee Hubbard, and he'll try to do what Wilburn couldn't do a moment ago and make a free throw or 2. Hubbard didn't get all tournament honors last weekend, but he probably was worthy of them based on his performance in the tournament, specifically against Mission on the Friday night ball game, the 71-51 win where he was arguably the best player on the court for the Crusaders.
Oh, certainly. Like, Lee Hubbard played amazing against Mission. Like, he played in, like, just great man-on-man defense. And he was the reason why the Crusaders won that game.
Makes 2 free throws and gives us our first points of the night here 45 seconds into this one. Riordan playing that man-to-man defense, good back cut and good contest, and Morsek blocked that or at least altered it. Now Riordan runs. Monroe, fly by 3 off the dribbles, way off the mark. Rebound is gonna be controlled by Riordan though. Monroe leans in. That one's too strong. Riordan keeps it alive again. A 3rd chance on this possession. Monroe, lob, sec. That was well defended by Lindsay. Actually, that's Johnson who defended it well, and he poked it away. Now a drive and another block shot by Morsek, but the tip-in cleaning up that play. That was Jordan Johnson, the senior power forward, who did well to get things going for the Cougars and then gets the 2 points on the back end. Clark leans in and scores it. So Riordan has its first made field goal. Ball swung to the corner, 3 from the corner, and that's good. That was Haley, one of the captains of this team, and he shot that with confidence, the 5'8 senior. Now Riordan's guard, Bryce Monroe, comes back the other way, steps around the defender, and scores with the left hand. Skip across. Clark runs him off the line, and Quilton will shoot two off the foul from Morsek.
Well, on Bryce Monroe's first two shots, like he got good looks, but he couldn't get them to fall in. Now he's thinking, why not just take the ball in myself, take it in the lane.
Cougars take a 30-second timeout here. Their head coach, Chris Teven, takes the timeout, and it looks like they've changed it from a 30-second to a full timeout. So 5:11 to go here, opening quarter. Riordan on top 6-5. And this ball game, as we mentioned during the open, features two of the top teams in all of Northern California. And Western Ranch, from what I can gather, they must really be itching to play a tough schedule because they were willing to come all the way out here on a Tuesday night. And this obviously is no small task to play the Crusaders at any time, but to be willing to do it in a circumstance like this means you definitely wanted to figure out how to play this game, and I give them credit for that. Riordan, after this, later this week, will play in the Gridley tournament. So 4 games total this week for the Crusaders, and 4 really tough ones at that. Western Ranch also at Gridley, correct, Pat? So they also have more tough games later this week. Here's Quilton. Makes the first. Both free throws down, and Western Ranch leads by 1 at 7-6 here. Just about 3 minutes into this ball game. Monroe calls up the screen, shows patience, gets it outside. And now Wilson spins inside. That was a nice move. And Dominic Wilson, under control, gives Riordan back the advantage. Monroe got in the passing lane there, but he stepped out of bounds on the near sideline. Now Wilson, he got the hand up there to deflect it and looked like he was going to get the steal, but he gets called for a foul, and that's 2 on Dominic. Joey Curtin's going to trust Dominic here to continue to play and not foul again. He's got a tough assignment here with Wilburn. He gets the help from Monroe. Outside 3 on the way, and that one's down. That's 2 for 2 from the exact same spot for Titus Haley. Now Monroe to Hubbard. Lee's going to shoot it, miss it. Wilson had it for a moment and then lost it to Wilburn. Wilburn around Wilson, up, and a foul. And right now, foul trouble may become an issue in this one here, as I think that's 2 on Morsek, and it is.
And that's a player that they need this game. We don't need to get him into foul trouble again.
So you've got your 2 forwards out there, both with 2 fouls apiece, and you're not even halfway through the first quarter. Second free throw off, so just a 3-point advantage for the Cougars at 11-8. Now Clark on the drive, gets inside and lays it home. A lot of good offense and not great defense by either team here in the early going. There's some good defense by Lee Hubbard, and that's a turnover. Ball goes into the back court, and there is the whistle making it official. Inbound to Monroe. In the corner, guarded by Haley. Tough fadeaway, and he blocked the shot, did Haley. Actually, I say Haley. That was actually Lindsay. It's hard. These jersey numbers are hard to pick up on these jerseys. There's a floater by Haley that's good. He's got a bunch of points here, 8 now in the early going. And the Cougars are up 3. From the Rastani logo, Jelani gets it back, shovels off to Morsek. It's going to stay with the Crusaders. One interesting note about last weekend's Crusader Classic, no MVP was named. 3 all-tourney players were named from Riordan, Clark, Monroe, and Seck. As Clark scores inside, good pass by Hubbard. Off the inbound play, they get an easy 2. But no most valuable player in the tournament. Weston Ranch responds. That's Lindsay, as he hung in the air and got it over Seck. All 5 players on the court for Western Ranch have scored so far. Clark the miss. Ball is saved, but Riordan has it. Good hustle. And now they'll get another chance at it. Lee Hubbard hangs in, missed the shot. Seck the board. He probably got fouled on the backside, but no call. Putback is good, and it's a 1-point game with 2 1/4 left here in the opening 8 minutes. Very good first quarter. Now all 5 for Riordan, so all 10 out there on the court have scored in this first quarter. And somebody's got 3 fouls now. It's Dominic Wilson. So Robert Viola is going to come on. Wilson, I would presume, is going to sit down. Wilburn back to the line. Left that well short. So Riordan has been whistled for 5 fouls. Western Ranch only 2. 5 fouls most harmfully have been assessed between only 2 players. Second free throw rolls in. Cody Weary, who wears number 22, checks in for Western Ranch. So both teams have gone to their bench here with just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Monroe to Viola, trying to get it inside to Seck. They finally enter. More Seck, a dribble, and a jump hook that's too strong. Rebound. No, nobody can get the board. It's out of bounds. Seck went after his own miss, ran into his own teammate, and it's 16-14, and Western Ranch with the lead has the ball back. Oh, that's good handoff play and not good defense. And Lindsay with the easy bucket. 4-point lead, biggest of this early part of the night for Western Ranch. Foul line pull-up jumper by Bryce Monroe. And he will shoot 2 as he was hit on the arm.
Weston foul, 28 Lindsay. That's his first. Bryce Monroe shooting 2.
Monroe makes the first. Only a minute 12 left here in this opening quarter. It's been a good one from the Crusader Forum here on the Riordan Broadcast Network, our fourth broadcast of this young season.
It's been an interesting game so far. The Crusaders, oddly enough, have kind of struggled from outside this game. They're getting most of their points from in the lane.
Both free throws down for Monroe. And now here's Weary. Shovels it over to a teammate who missed a shot, missed a putback. That was Johnson inside. Now Monroe got up in the air, but he got it to Jelani Clark. Outside to Hubbard. Now Viola. They swing it. Monroe a three. It's good. Good pass by Robert Viola. It was crisp. It was on time. Right in the shooter's pocket. And Monroe in rhythm knocks it down. Riordan by one. Western Ranch responds with a triple. Wilburn shows his talent with that triple. And the Cougars are back up two. Shot clock off. Final 20 seconds of the quarter. It's been a good one. An entertaining one, and we thought it would be an entertaining game tonight. Monroe backs it up. Gets the switch. And he is going to pull up and miss the shot. He wants the foul, no call. And that is the end of a very entertaining first quarter. At the end of one, here at the Forum, it's Western Ranch 21 and Archbishop Riordan 19 here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. First quarter in the books here at the Crusader Forum, 21-19. Western Ranch leads the home team here as we begin the second quarter. And Cameron Bevan-Abel along with Bob Green. Cam, what do you have as far as stats from that first quarter?
Well, for Western Ranch, they really imposed their will on the Crusaders in the paint while still shooting 100% from outside. 3 for 3 on threes, 7 for 12 on field goals. Riordan has been good, like, inside of 3 for the most part. 7 for 16 total field goals, 1 for 5 and threes.
Begin the second quarter with the Crusaders in possession. Reedy starts the quarter on the floor for the Crusaders, getting his first action. Here's Monroe outside to Hubbard. Good defense by Western Ranch. Now Jelani a dribble and a three, and that is no good. Thought he might get the bounce, but he does not. See how deep either coach goes into his respective bench tonight.
And that's just what's going on in the first quarter, continuing on into the second.
Nice spin move.
Just not getting the right bounces.
Very nice move by Coylton on the block there. The guard showing the post moves. And Western Ranch back up by 4 here with the first points of this second quarter. Monroe inside, missed the layup. Jelani Clark, great hustle though. That was all effort there by Jelani. And he gets him 2. 8 for Clark. And a whistle and a foul. And Western Ranch will go back to the line. The defensive intensity really from both teams has not been where I think either coach would want it to be. Part of it has to do with who they're playing in terms of the ability level of the respective offensive players. Wilburn has been living at the line because no one's staying in front of him, though.
Wilburn now 2 for 7 on free throws, but
That's helped the Crusaders. He has not shot it well at the line, to say the least.
still comes at a harsh price because Riordan has been in foul trouble to start this game.
He splits the free throws there. 3-point basketball game. Lee Hubbard pulls the defense in. Viola the three. That's short. Good rebound by Rini momentarily, but he can't hold it. Now here comes Western Ranch, and they get a layup. Lindsay gets in and scores it. That really was probably too easy. He made it look easy anyway. 5-point lead for the Cougars. Now Viola, he got fouled. It's a smart play there. They tried to pull the chair a little bit on him. Try to get him to travel. And he nearly did. But the foul called. 14 fouls on the Cougars. The first foul on Wilburn. Now Monroe on the dribble. Bryce is going to flip it to Viola, who scores it. The patience there, Bryce Monroe. Very nice pass. Back the other way. Riordan basketball. Thought for a moment it was going to be knocked out of bounds by a Crusader, but they say no. Keon Forbes is checked in for Weston Ranch. He wears number 12. Again, very hard to see the numbers on these black jerseys for the Cougars. Bryce Monroe hangs, can't get the shot to go in. Jelani Clark saved it, though. He got the rebound, got it outside. Riordan has a fresh shot clock. Jelani's going to attack and miss, and that was not a good possession by the Crusaders in the end. Great effort by Jelani. And now Western Ranch takes timeout, and this one will be a 30-second timeout. And Cam, we've got 5:18 to go here before halftime, and Western Ranch up by 3, so a very tight game, but by and large they have been the better team throughout this first half.
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, they keep on imposing their will on the paint, and they've been really good on perimeter defense, but their inside defense not so much. Riordan's got to keep on pounding in the paint.
Both teams made 9 field goals. Riordan attempted 23. Pat Sagerson updating us on the fly. He says both teams have made 9 field goals. Western Ranch has the advantage on the scoreboard where it matters at 26-23. And they have the basketball, do the Cougars. And here's Donjay Lindsay getting it over to Wilburn. And Wilburn, that's too easy, but he missed the layup. Riordan back the other way, ahead to Monroe. Tough pass. Bryce tried to save it, but he stepped on the line. That's not on Bryce Monroe, that's on Jelani Clark, and he knows it. He's patting his chest like that's my fault, my fault. Here's Quilton, guarded by Monroe at the top. Now Weary against Rini. And he'll attack and get it outside. Good defense by Clark. And now whistle, and it's going to be Riordan basketball. Somebody stepped out of bounds. 4:41 to go here before halftime. Western Ranch going to get some subs into the game. Get some starters back on the court. Johnson and Haley, forward and a guard. Haley has 8 points, made a couple of threes from the corner already. Inside to Big Rob. Viola, drop step, missed the shot, just wouldn't rattle home, but Riordan retains the basketball. Rini, no hesitation, and that's a good looking shot by Rini, tying the game at 26. He doesn't lack for confidence. He won't hesitate. And he makes it there. Now Johnson outside. Monroe trying to stay there, and he does. Deflects the ball out of bounds. Good job by Bryce. This has been a very, very entertaining first quarter. First half, I should say. It was a very good first quarter, and it's turned into a good second quarter here. Here's Wilburn, guarded by Clark. Now Quilton, spinning, travels. Bryce Monroe with a very nice defensive possession. First staying with Quilton and then knocking the ball out of bounds, and then right there staying with him and helping cause the travel. Rini from Monroe. That one's no good. And now Western Ranch is flying up the court, and the Cougars are back in front. So a missed three, and then Wilburn makes a pay on the other end. Monroe back, he's stripped. Western Ranch has it again. Fly by, and a two-point jumper is pure. Haley with another made shot, and it's quickly from a tie game to a 4-point advantage for Western Ranch. Riordan needs a good possession here. Coach Curtin knows that and takes time. 2:56 to go here before halftime. It's a 30-second timeout. Bob Green along with Cameron Bevan-Abel, and Cam Riordan hit that three by Rini. They had something going there. Seemed like they pulled some momentum back their way, but Western Ranch took it right back almost immediately.
Riordan were finally getting some stops. They had a couple turnovers, Western Ranch did, but then Bryce Monroe, he passed it to Rini, but it was out of his shooting pocket. He's a spot shooter like him. You gotta have it like right in his pocket, and he missed the shot. Then Bryce Monroe lost the ball. Crusaders just needed time to take a breather and time to get some momentum their way.
So ultimately, Western Ranch has been in front by a little bit here throughout most of this first half. Riordan trying to shorten the deficit here, trailing by 4, under 3 to go out of the timeout. And Clark has it, and Jelani's going to go down into the block, fade, and make the jumper, and that was pretty. One knee up in the air like Dirk Nowitzki, and it's a 2-point game again. Now this is odd. Riordan is in zone. At least it looks like they're in zone because they're backing off, and Western Ranch is just standing there. So it actually was man-to-man. It just looked like zone based on how they were playing it. Clark whistled for the foul. That's 2 on Jelani. And now Western Ranch will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. It's Wilburn again. I believe these will be, if he makes one and gets a second, I think he'll be at 10 free throws now in this first half. He shot a bunch of free throws. And he will get a 10th one because he made the first. Only 4 of 9, but he has made his last 2. Now 5 of 10, and back to a 4-point advantage. He's got 10 points total, does Wilburn. Morsek is back on the court. See if they get him the ball. Clark drives, goes up, got fouled, and it rolled off the rim, but Jelani will shoot 2. One thing about tonight, both teams are having a really hard time defending and containing the basketball off the dribble. And I'm sure part of that has to do with the quality of the players they're facing. Part of that is on the defenders.
Well, right now, Jelani's just trying to take control of this game. The last couple of times, last time he had a little Dirk Nowitzki, like fadeaway bucket. Now he's gaining the lane.
Both free throws good. Minute 59 to go, and it's 32-30. Western Ranch with the ball and the lead. Cougars taking a lot of time here. Riordan allowing them to do it. You can't harass the ball with ball handlers and athletes like this. Like Wilburn, pull up three. That is no good. Hubbard has it, and he's banged into. And that'll be 6 team fouls against the Cougars with 92 seconds to go here in the second quarter. It would feel like a big deal if Riordan could have the lead at halftime because of the fact that Western Ranch has been leading throughout most of this half. They have never had a big advantage, but they have been in control in terms of controlling the lead. Bryce Monroe missed it. Morsek tried to get it and cannot. See if Western Ranch can respond with a basket here. They tried to, they cannot, nor do they get the call. Back the other way. Jelani does not have numbers, so he backs off. Little floater, too strong. Morsek the board, the putback, and it bounces home. That was weird. Jelani got in a weird space where he thought, I don't want to shoot it, but I kind of have to with where I am and no one's guarding me. We're tied at 32. That's an offensive foul. That's a no call, and they just say Riordan basketball. So I thought they were going to call player control there, but they don't. They just say, hey, we'll just call it Riordan ball off the turnover. Crusaders have it. Final 40 seconds. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 5 seconds. We are tied at 32. There is no need to rush here, I wouldn't think. Robert Viola out to Hubbard. He's wide open, and Lee makes the three. Riordan by 3. 20 seconds to go. Shot clock off. Can the Crusaders get one more stop and go into the locker room with the lead? Technically, Western Ranch could score, and Riordan could still lead at the half. Coylton, clock running down, pass into the corner, 3 on the way. That's way off the mark, and Riordan does lead go into the half by 3. So a very strong close to the half for the Crusaders, and at the end of 2, in this big-time non-league matchup, it is Riordan 35 and Western Ranch 32 here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. welcome back here to the Crusader Forum. I'm Bob Green along with Cameron, Bev, and Abel, and we're at halftime here in the ballgame. Riordan 35, Western Ranch 32. Hey, Cam, what do you have in terms of stats at half as supplied by the great Pat Sagerson?
Well, the leading scorer for Archbishop Riordan is Jelani Clark with 12 points. He's also got 4 rebounds. He's 5 for 10 shooting. Then we also got Bryce Monroe getting 7 points. And then for Western Ranch, we got the 2 top scorers, Gavin Wilburn with 10 points, and he's got 4 rebounds, 2 for 5 shooting, and 5 for 10 on the free throw line, and Titus Haley also with 10 points.
Riordan closed the half really well and turned what was a 4-point deficit into a 3-point advantage. And really, you look at this second half, Western Ranch came a long way on this Tuesday night. They don't play a ton of guys. They have some great athletes and great players. Riordan's not going super deep into its bench tonight either, but it appears on the surface that the Crusaders have a bit more depth. I'll be curious to see how that impacts the game, if at all, in the final 2 quarters of regulation.
Both teams have only played 7 players so far. It seemed the end of the half, Riordan closed it very well, just like you said, and it seemed like the Riordan shooting dry spells have finally ended.
One thing that impacted that first half, the foul trouble against Dominic Wilson, because he was productive when he was out there, but he got 3 fouls in pretty short order. He's back on the court to begin the second half, and we are underway here in the third. Riordan leads by 3, and we begin the second half with Coylton leaning in and getting a shot blocked by Jelani Clark. Riordan hasn't had a lot of opportunities to run. They race it up the court here. Wilson inside, and he lays it home. I believe that's going to be a delay of game call. It's a delay of game against Dominic Wilson. He hit the ball after making the layup. So Riordan has a 5-point lead. That's got to be the Crusaders' biggest lead of the night here in the early moments of the second half. Bounce pass inside. One of the guards who can play as a post, that's Wilburn, and he missed a tough shot on the baseline. Rolled off. Lee Hubbard up the floor. Lee Hubbard out to Wilson. And he'll get it back, and they'll set up shop. Hubbard on the drive, leans in. No good. Good job by Morsek. His putback attempt drops in. He floated it way up in the air, and it dropped home. Riordan by 7 now. Wilburn on the drive. Pump fake goes up, missed the shot, ball tipped around. Who's going to get it? Morsek saves it to Bryce Monroe. Bryce Monroe got stripped by Wilburn. And it's going to be a 2-hand dunk. So that ends the run by the Crusaders here. And Western Ranch has its first points of the second half. Dominic Wilson thought about going after that play, realizing he had 3 fouls already, so thought better of it. Jelani Clark from the top. That's probably his best spot on the floor to shoot it, and he's feeling good, as are the Crusaders. Timeout, Cougars. 6:08 to go here in the third. Riordan off to a good start in the second half, and they lead it 42-34 here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. start of the timeout. Give a shout out to Levis Rodriguez, our cameraman extraordinaire. Apparently he has an app ready to go for, it'll let you teleport and helps with emotion. That's the type of thing we do here at Riordan. There's a long three off the dribble, no good. Great rebound, Jelani Clark. That was the Division I rebound by a guard, and he'll bring it up himself, of course. Now Monroe inside to Wilson. And he goes off the window, no good. Morsek the rebound, but his putback attempt is way too strong. I feel like tonight we've seen more post-ups than we had in all of the previous games. Joey Curtin's career as the head coach of his alma mater combined 2+ years previously. Ball knocked out of bounds and stays with Western Ranch. 25 on the shot clock. Inside, no good. Tip is good. Flying in to tip it in was Johnson. Now Jelani Clark back the other way. He's stripped, and that's a bad play by Jelani and a turnover. Now a three from the left wing. That's way off the mark. That was Favor Pitts, who we have yet to call his name tonight until that moment. Now Monroe no good with the layup attempt with the left hand. He got hung in the air and kind of flipped it up off the window, no good. Back come the Cougars. And they get two. Low right. That was Lindsay making it a 4-point game. So Riordan was really rolling, but that's changed here for the moment. Can they get a good possession, get a good shot? Lob, sec, and a foul. Western Ranch really upset. Neither team has gone deep into their bench so far tonight. Now a whistle and a foul. And it's against Jordan Johnson, the 6'5" senior, and he doesn't like it at all. That's 3 on Johnson, so watch that. That's significant, or at least it could be. Monroe a corner 3. That's a really tough shot, and he missed everything. Now Western Ranch up the floor. And the Cougars get an open 3. Can't cash in, though. And Lee Hubbard has the board. Now Clark, lob, sec. Good job by Moore. He caught it, realized he could not go up, and try to dunk it on the jump catch. Came to the ground, steadied himself, and then buried the dunk going back up. Riordan up 6. And a turnover.
And the momentum is all Crusaders now.
Donjay Lindsay, for a second I thought he was coming out. It's Favor Pitts is going to sit down. Wilburn is back in, so he gets a brief rest. Here's Monroe outside Hubbard. Lee out to Jelani. Good catch by Clark, and he'll launch a long 3 and make it. Jelani Clark from way outside, and the Crusaders lead by 9. Good job by Hubbard to stop the ball there at the 3-point line. Now Wilburn at the foul line. That's easy money for him. 47-40, 3 minutes to go in the third. Bryce Monroe fouled on the ground. That'll be 3 fouls against the Cougars in this third quarter. None have been whistled against Riordan. 2 on Lindsay for the Cougars. Jelani Clark has been big tonight. That 3 ball has been big. Lee Hubbard inside off the nice pass from Dominic Wilson, but a tough left-handed layup, no good. Western Ranch back the other way. That's way too easy as Lindsay gets all the way to the bucket. And it's back to a 5-point game. Monroe inside, goes up. And I think it was going to roll in. We'll never know. Basket interference by Morsek. They say the ball was in the cylinder. So, wipe away 2 points. Robert Vihula checks in for the Crusaders. Here's Haley, guarded by Monroe. And they get it to Wilburn in the post. He steps inside. Can't get the bounce, though. That's Riordan basketball. Knocked out of bounds by Forbes. Riordan got a break there as Wilburn, arguably the best player on this Western Ranch team, got a really good look at the rim. Monroe hangs, and he gets it to roll over the front of the rim. Riordan has to get back. They don't do a great job of it. Leads to a 3 attempt, but that's short. Monroe hangs, and he can't get the bounce. Ball loose. Jelani Clark has it. He attacks. He gets fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jelani missed that by the way it's gone tonight. I mean, he's just been on fire this whole entire game.
Yeah, Jelani Clark has been excellent tonight with the effort, loose balls, going after the ball, staying with plays. It's been a big factor in this game. Right now he's shaken up a bit. 18 points for Jelani Clark with 2 free throws coming. It's probably the best game Clark has played all season. He's had a good year so far.
And don't forget 7 rebounds as well.
I feel like every loose ball he's getting to. Gets them both to go. Riordan back up 9 at 51-42. Still a lot of basketball left, about a minute and a half in this third quarter, and then we've got the fourth. Wilburn was fouled by Dominic Wilson. That's 4 on Dom. He's had a very good quarter, but he can't foul again. That'll mean his night is done.
Well, he got in foul trouble early, and he got 3 of his fouls in the first quarter.
So Morsek comes back in. Dominic Wilson sits down. Wilson has been huge defensively and offensively in this third quarter. He played really well during his time on the court in the first quarter, but the foul trouble affected him, impacted his playing time. Now Clark out high on defense. Wilburn attacks, and he can't get the initial shot to go, but he stays with it and tips it in. Final minute of the third. Inside to Vihula. He will back his man in, go out to Morsek. One dribble, floats it up short. And now Western Ranch has a chance to take some momentum into the fourth. Morsek with the block. Western Ranch gets it back. There's a wild shot attempt, no good. Crusaders have it, shot clock off. Lee Hubbard flips it up, no good. And now Western Ranch gets a chance to shoot the last shot if they so choose. Doesn't appear they choose, but they do make a three. Coylton with the three from the corner. And it's 51-47, final 10 seconds of the third. Bryce Monroe way outside. Yes, it goes. It somehow stayed down, and that's a big response as Riordan leads by 7 as we head to the fourth here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So we head to the fourth quarter here. Bob Green along with Cameron, Bev, and Abel. 54-47, our score. Riordan in front. Jelani Clark with a nice third quarter. Dominic Wilson, though he got his fourth foul, had a nice third quarter, coming back into the game after that foul trouble he had to deal with in the first half. Joey Curtin sends out Clark, Monroe, Hubbard, and then Robert Viola and Morsek are the big guys in the game. Viola starts the fourth with a three that's too long. Good play, though. Good action. Got a wide open three for the big man. Here's Coylton, who had the three from the right corner a moment ago. He's going to attack Rob and score it. And I feel like, and I've never seen Western Ranch play really truly before a full game for tonight, I feel like Coylton's a better player than he's been allowed to show tonight. When he's been involved in the offense, he's been very productive. Viola inside, good move, can't get the roll. Gets his own miss, though, and Riordan retains possession. Bryce Monroe way off the mark. And now Western Ranch runs. And a three, and that's good from Titus Haley. And we've got a 2-point game. Here's Jelani out to Bryce. He'll go baseline, go up, and get the layup to go. Good no call, I think, all the way around there. Riordan back up 4. They need to stop the ball. They do not, but they don't pay for the moment. In fact, Bryce Monroe has the basketball, and he's fouled in the open court. The quality of the players on the court for both teams are such that this is much more like you see in the NBA, where guys are going to get looks. It's a matter of how good a look, and then really about shot making. And at the high school level, frankly, it's not always about shot making because guys can't make certain types of shots if you defend it well enough. That's not really the case tonight with the quality of players. Here's Monroe on the drive. He gets in and he scores it. And they're going to call an offensive foul, and that's a tough call. That's a big call because rather than a 6-point advantage, it's a foul on Monroe and still just a 4-point advantage. Monroe is dinged up, it appears. He's trying to play through it right now. 6 minutes to go in regulation, 4-point game. Here's Haley. Now Wilburn. Jelani staying with him. Good job by Clark. Jelani taking the challenge. Now Morsek on a switch. Coylton from the logo. That's no good. Western Ranch somehow got the ball. And now a whistle and a foul. Riordan fans wanted to travel in the worst way, but instead the foul's on Lee Hubbard. It's the third team foul against the Crusaders. The Cougars have been whistled for 5 team fouls. And Western Ranch is going to take another timeout, Cameron.
Well, one of the few times you've seen Morsek get out-rebounded.
Well, that was odd because it looked like Johnson was right there and he just caught it. I don't know if Moore even saw it, but full timeout. It is worth noting Western Ranch only has 1 timeout left. Only has 1 timeout left. And Riordan has 4. Joey Curtin is very upset. I'm pretty sure he's upset about the call on Bryce Monroe on the charge call under the basket. So I believe that Coach Curtin just got assessed a technical, I think. I guess I don't know for sure. We'll have to wait and see as this timeout winds down.
Well, we've seen a couple calls go against the Crusaders right now, but they got bounced back with their playmakers, Jelani Clark and Bryce Monroe. Even though he drew the charge, I really liked that play. The play before, Western Ranch had a lot of momentum, and he kind of shut them down with a nice drive. And it's unfortunate that he got the charge against him that time, but it was still another good drive.
So now Western Ranch will shoot 2 foul shots off the technical out of the timeout. Make the first. So Donjay Lindsay makes the first. And now he can't get the second, and that could be big. Really, foul shooting has played a role in the fact that Riordan leads this one. They lead by 3, though. A lead that was up to 9. Still 5:40 to go. Cougars in possession. Back cut and a turnover. Good defense by the Crusaders. And a situation there with Western Ranch having the ball and, of course, the technical. That could have really hurt Riordan. It only cost them 1 point.
And that's just what they needed after a couple frustrating sequences.
Now they need a good shot. Clark is going to pull again. That was a little short, but Jelani got his own miss. Baked it up, no good. Ball kept alive. And Dominic Wilson makes it a 5-point game. Riordan in front here. And that's a travel. That is a travel. Wilburn tried to stop on a dime. Jelani Clark was there. Morsek came over. And Wilburn was called for a travel. So 5-point game, Riordan basketball, 4:45 to go. Got to finish the game, keep playing hard. Bryce Monroe, tough drive, left hand. And now Riordan is going to get called for a technical foul because earlier they had delay game warning, and now another delay game means technical. Whether or not it was a correct call or not, it was a quick call. So Western Ranch will shoot foul shots here. The tough part there is there's nowhere really for Moore to go. He obviously is a very large man, young man, and he was in the air, it appeared. So he wasn't in a position to be able to control himself to try to avoid hitting the ball. He didn't hit it with his arm or anything like that, hit off his head. So a 5-point game, and Western Ranch has the basketball. And that was probably a travel, they don't call it. That was a travel, they don't call it. So now all of a sudden, who's complaining the most is impacting the officials. Layup good, tip, or no good, tip, no good, ball loose. Western Ranch has it again, and they'll get a 3, and they'll make it. Lindsay with the triple, 2-point game again. Halfway through this fourth quarter, I'm getting wore out here. We got a ways to go. Bryce Monroe hesitation, and he'll shoot. And one thing I will say, and I feel for the officials in this regard, this is a much more high-level game in terms of athleticism and ability level around the rim than they are probably used to. Even in really good high school games in Northern California, there aren't a lot of teams like these two. So Monroe makes both free throws, back to a 4-point lead. Good job by Wilson. At the travel, Wilson avoided his 5th foul, and then Coylton travels. And you do sense a little bit on both sides, fatigue maybe playing a role here. 3.5 to go, Riordan by 4. Monroe on the drive, gets into the body. Morset got it. Off the miss from Bryce, and he'll shoot 2. Really nice play by Bryce Monroe. Good defense by Western Ranch. But that ultimately led to Morset getting 2 foul shots, and Jordan Johnson now has 4 fouls, so that's big. First foul shot is off. This has not been a perfect game by either team, but it's been a really good game, and the players that have been out there have played very, very hard.
That was our first missed free throw.
Second one is good. Riordan has missed just 1 free throw tonight, and it came a moment ago by Sek. He gets that, though, and it's a 5-point game. And now they call a foul on the ground on Lee Hubbard. And that's 6 fouls against the Crusaders.
I mean, it's been real sloppy this quarter, but should make for a very interesting finish.
Western Ranch has done well to make the shots to stay in this game in the fourth. Nice fadeaway shot is good. Wilburn gets it to a 3-point game. 3 minutes to go. 18 for the Western Ranch Star. There's Monroe. Hanging and scoring. He gets into the body of the defender, and Monroe now has 20. Johnson didn't want that 5th foul.
Another beautiful left-handed finish by Bryce Monroe.
Tom Wilson on defense there. They don't call a foul either way, and Coylton puts it home, and it's back to a 3-point game with 2.5 to go. 11 for that young man for Western Ranch. Sek with the screen. Bryce Monroe the pull-up. He got banged into by his own teammate, and they're going to say it's Western Ranch ball, and it's hard to fathom from where we are how that was off of someone in a white jersey, but we perhaps don't have the best angle from up here. So Cougars by 3. Oh, Dominic Wilson poked it away. What a play. What a play by Dominic Wilson. 2 to go. And Riordan back in possession. And now it's Jelani Clark's turn to run the offense. He gets it to Bryce Monroe, though, so Bryce will back it up on the dribble. Monroe hangs, misses, ball tipped out. Fresh shot clock. That's a fresh shot clock, and Jelani Clark did well there to yell at Lee Hubbard and say, hey, give me the ball. Let's run some clock. We're down to 1:35. The shot clock's at 25. Jelani Clark in possession. Riordan up 3. Monroe. Now Wilson back to Monroe. Bryce being harassed, lost the ball momentarily, gets it back. Now he'll attack, step around, lay it up, no good. Really good defense by Western Ranch. They could tie with a 3. They'll get a 2 inside and they'll lay it home. 1-point game, 60 seconds to go. Joey Curtin has 4 timeouts. He is going to use one here with 50.9 to go. So we will pause here, catch our breath, and then bring you to end of regulation. A great one here from the Crusader Forum. Riordan by 1 in the final minute. So out of this timeout, Riordan's going to hope to get a good look. Cougars have taken the road back in this one from down as many as 9 to shave the deficit to just 1. Riordan's got to get it in. And they do in the backcourt, and Bryce Monroe runs it down. Can Riordan get a good look at it? Can they get a rebound if they miss it?
Trying to slow down the offense again.
Shot clock down to 10. Jelani's going to attack. Jelani's going to be fouled, and they're going to have him shoot 2. And that was one of those calls where you got bodies flying, banging into people. 2 foul shots coming. The shot clock is now off with 33 seconds left, and Western Ranch with just 1 timeout available to them. Riordan has 3. So 2 big foul shots coming for the Riordan Star. First one rims out. Second one. A big one here. He gets that to go. 2-point game. 33 seconds to go. Can Riordan get the stop? Clark on Wilburn. Wilburn is going to take. Wilburn's going to bounce. And Western Ranch ties the game. Final 15. And now Western Ranch just took their last timeout. Johnson inside. He used the rim to protect himself. And he ties the game. And Western Ranch took its last timeout with 13 seconds to go here.
13.9 seconds to go. Who do you think they'll give the ball to?
I mean, it's going to go to Monroe or Clark. I think you've got to have some mind to say, hey, shoot it with some time on the clock, because one, Western Ranch doesn't have a timeout, and two, you'd like to have an opportunity in a spot like this to maybe get a putback, because they have been able to get on the glass. Now, normally you might say don't do that with the game tied, just take the last shot, but my thinking on that is the clock runs on a make in high school, and Western Ranch has no timeouts.
Oh yeah, may leave like 2 or 3 seconds back.
Give yourself a chance for a second chance shot at the buzzer. Riordan will have to go the length of the court here. Hubbard will inbound it. Jelani comes to the ball and has it. 10 seconds to go. Monroe came at the ball. Jelani kept it. Final 2 seconds. Jelani Clark. No good. Nearly got the teardrop to go. And we'll go to overtime here at the Crusader Forum. Just off the left side of the rim, and we've got 4 more minutes of basketball at the very least here on this Tuesday night. So here we go to the overtime session. 4 minutes put on the scoreboard by our official clock operator, Jeff Isola. And the same guys are out there as we have seen throughout most of this night. We'll jump it up again. Wilburn against Sec. Riordan will control it to start. So the height of Morsec helps there in a game where every possession matters. One thing Riordan's going to have to probably get back into a bit more of an attack mode. Bryce Monroe 3. He got fouled. Quilton got underneath him. That was a pretty easy call, especially in this day and age. And Bryce Monroe will shoot 3 free throws.
And that's a very tough decision as a defender, whether to go under or go over. If you go over, he's going to drive, and a very hard driver he is. But if you go under, you face the consequences like that.
One thing I will say about Monroe there is that he didn't hesitate. He got to the spot he wanted to get to, and he shot that with confidence. And now he's got one more free throw to try to make it a 3-point advantage for the Crusaders here right at the start of this overtime session. Whoever wins this game will have earned it. All 3 free throws down, 3:42 to go here in overtime. First time Western Ranch has had it in the overtime session. Good defense by Hubbard. Outside the ball goes, 3 on the way. No good. Riordan gets the rebound. Bryce Monroe tracked it down. Monroe drives. Monroe got fouled. They don't call it, but he scores it. That was a foul. It should have been an and one, as it is Riordan by 5 here. Now Lindsay cut off by Hubbard. Coilton on the drive. Shovels off. and an easy one. Good job by Weston Ranch there. And every time that Riordan has taken control at any moment from the fourth quarter on, the Cougars have responded, and they do there. Here's Monroe, tough inside, and he'll shoot two. Monroe got his defender in a tough spot. He was in a tough spot, but he was not to be denied. And that's smart. He realizes most of the time in spots like that, the contact favors the offense in the game of basketball, and it did there. That's 4 fouls on Haley. So that's another factor, too. We might start seeing guys foul out, and when you're not playing a lot of guys either way, that could have a significant impact. Johnson's had 4 for a while. Of course, Dominic Wilson's had 4 for a while for Riordan. 2.5 to go here in overtime. Riordan up 5. Wilburn, I think he really wants to shoot a 3 if he can. He thought about it and thought better of it. Quelton dials at the screen. Now attacks, bounces back to his big man who scores at low right. Johnson again makes it a 3-point game again. 2:10 to go. All 5 starters for the Cougars are in double figures now in scoring. Bryce Monroe got all the way in and scored with the right hand. That was really well done. 29 for Bryce. Quelton back the other way. Out of control, and the officials don't bail him out. Good job. Here come the Crusaders. No need for this, but Jelani does it anyway. They lose the ball, though. And now Western Ranch has it. Not the best possession under the circumstances. And now 2 foul shots coming. I thought, but no, they're going to say on the floor. Only the 7th foul. So it's a 1-and-1, although that is 5 on Dominic Wilson. He is fouled out. And he's got what's becoming his thing every time he gets a foul called on him. He has the palms up. And I love Dom, teasing him a bit.
Well, that's exactly what you don't want to have it with 90 seconds to go in the game. You have a 5-and-2 fast break, you're up 5, and you're just out of control, and then foul out Dom at the end of the game.
So Dominic Wilson will depart. Very good night for him. He played excellent basketball. 2 foul shots coming. Or Wilburn. Actually, not 2 shots. It's a 1-and-1. They called the foul on the floor, and he missed the free throw, so he doesn't get a second. That's a big moment. Morissette with his 10th board there. Riordan's in great shape, up 5 with the ball. Bryce Monroe is going to milk some clock here, bring it down under 15 on the shot clock. Monroe for 3. And that's a big one. Riordan by 8. We're under a minute to go. Got to finish the game, boys. For some reason, nobody decided to guard the left side of the court, and Johnson dunks it. And so it's a 6-point game. It's not over yet, thanks in part to that lapse in judgment by the defense. Weston Ranch takes the timeout awarded them because we went into overtime. Riordan by 6 here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So a couple things here that are really favoring the Crusaders. They're up 6 with only 50 seconds to go. Western Ranch has no timeouts. Riordan has 4. Riordan is in the double bonus, and Western Ranch doesn't have a lot of guys who have a lot of fouls available to them without fouling out. Got to get it in, though. They do, and Monroe gets it back. Do have to get it across the timeline, and they do. That was well done. And now Jelani will get fouled with 40.5 left. You can't celebrate here, though, and make it a big party because you got to make the foul shots, and then you got to get back on defense and finish the game. Remember, both these teams have a big week ahead, even after this matchup. They're both headed to Gridley for the Gridley Invitational, arguably the best tournament in all of California. Second one is no good. Jelani got it, though. Jelani got his own miss on the second one. And perhaps now, after long last, the fatigue and the long drive are really impacting Western Ranch. So 2 more for Jelani here. Gets that one to go. It's been a great game tonight. I feel like nowadays at the highest levels of high school basketball, we nitpick more than ever. The reality is these are 2 really talented teams, 2 of the most talented teams in all of Northern California, all the state. And they put on a pretty good show here tonight on a Tuesday in San Francisco.
Well, it hasn't been pretty, but we've really finally gotten a chance to really see what Riordan offenses could do. Like the other teams in the Crusader Classic really tried to get them in the break and play faster than they really should, but we've really seen some great half-court offense for them today.
So Moore has to come out because he's got some blood on his jersey, and Toyo Kano checks in here as Jelani can't get that second one to go. 8-point game, final 35 seconds. Wilburn a 3. That's good. 5-point game. Western Ranch has no timeouts. Jelani Clark smartly says, I got 4, so I'm going to take one here. So not done yet. 27 seconds to go here. Riordan by 5 and in possession here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So in high school, you don't advance the ball. Heck, you don't advance the ball in college either on timeouts like that. So Riordan will inbound under the basket. It's defending. Monroe gets it back. Monroe has 32 tonight on 27 shots, and he gets fouled here by Weary with 19 seconds to go. Good job by Bryce Monroe. Then a run off 8 seconds, and they get fouled. And the tough part here for Western Ranch is without a timeout, you can't stop it, and you can't even stop it if you make a shot and the clock runs. First free throw good. Morsek is back in. So Aaron Stovall did well to clean him up. And he's ready to go back in the game. And he is back in the ball game. Riordan by 6. Riordan by 7. Big free throws from Monroe. Coylton rushes it up. Gives it off. Wilburn a 3. That's short. And I think that's going to do a big rob with the board. Viola will walk the other way and shoot 2 foul shots. With 10.4 to go, Riordan appears as if it's going to survive tonight and improve to 5-0 on the season as they continue this gauntlet that is their schedule. So they'll head off to Gridley Thursday morning, play the 5:30 game against Capital Christian. Rob makes the foul shot. And he'll shoot the second one here to try to push the advantage here in overtime to 84-75. And it is good. Final 10 seconds. Shot is up from the Rustani logo. That's off. Shalani Clark the board, and that's going to do it. So Riordan survives. Western Ranch played great, especially in the fourth, but the Crusaders outlast the Cougars 84-75. Bryce Monroe with the big night, scoring over 30, and he went 11 for 11 from the foul line in the victory. Cameron, anything to add before we get out of here?
Well, like I said earlier, this was just a great opportunity to see how the Crusaders can match up against a really talented squad, and they really proved themselves that they're legit contenders this year.
Big win for Riordan. They go to 5-0. Western Ranch is 0-3, but that doesn't tell the whole tale, as they're a really talented team. They've just played other really talented teams. Off to Gridley go the Crusaders. Next time we'll talk to you on the Riordan Broadcast Network. It'll be 2020, and we'll have the league opener for you against Sarah on the evening of January the 4th. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and take care. I'm Bob Green for Cameron Bevan-Abel and Vigan Rassam, my producer. Take care. Once again, our final score, Riordan 84, Weston Ranch 75.